Hickory-dickory-dock. Time to beat the clock. Time for fun has now begun. Let's all play beat the clock.
Beat the Clock is brought to you by Sylvania. For half a century, a quality name in incandescent bulbs, fluorescent tubes and fixtures, photo lamps, radio and television sets, radio and television tubes, and electronic devices. Yes, for homes, offices, schools, and factories, Sylvania.
Let's all play beat the clock.
And here is America's #1 clock watcher, Bud Collyer.
Thank you and welcome once again to Beat the Clock, the show where you have the time of your life playing against time for big-time prizes. Now, if you come back over here with me, we have the pleasant experience always of re-meeting some old friends of last week's show. How are you? Hello. Nice to have you back. What are you looking so scared about? Mr. and Mrs. Melvin Mulberger, is that right?
That's right.
Molberger, Brooklyn, New York. You're in the Navy, and of course, last week we had an all-Navy show, and this was a couple that were just on when time ran out of them. You'd gone through the $100 clock, I believe, hadn't you?
That's right.
We're about to try the 200. Incidentally, it's a good week to come back because the bonus is worth $1,000 tonight. $1,000 wherever that bell happens to ring. Whoever's up is the one that gets the chance to do it. I make you feel... I don't blame you. I would, too. Incidentally, also, we have a little football guidebook. It's put out by Sylvania Television, and we'd like you to have one, Mel. If you'd like to have it, it has the complete football guide, the schedule, the team rosters, and all the signals, and everything you want to know about football. Any of you other folks can get them by going to your Sylvania Television dealer. Just ask him for one. Glad to have you have one of these football books. All right, Melvin, and your lovely missus. What's your first name? Helen? Melvin and Helen. It's kind of close together, isn't it?
Right.
All right, let's see why we got you tricked up the way we have. You both come over here with me. I'll show you what it is on the $200 clock. Now, if you'll stand on this side of me, Helen, Melvin, you stand on this side. I want to show you that we have here a little row of empty milk cartons, you see? Now, standing in between them here, I have one of these little toy racing cars. And it doesn't wind up or anything. It just goes by friction. You press down close, to the floor, and it'll go, just like that. That's what you do. You press it down good and tight to the floor, lean on it rather than push away from it, and just push, and it will go. Something bothering you, Betty? It's all right. Just keep her off stage, Madeline, if you can. She's a little eager tonight. Now, all we want you to do is you operate behind that black line over there, Melvin, and Helen, you operate behind this black line right here. You push that little car back and forth to each other until you've knocked down all 3 cartons. Got the idea?
Yes, sir.
All right, take a look at the clock, see how many seconds you have. 55. Helen, go to your post if you will. Melvin, go to yours. Get the racing car right there if you will. Just pick it right up. Get all set now. You understand how to push it, do you? Press hard on the floor when you let it go. In other words, don't push it so hard forward as you press down and give it a good push that way. Okay, are you ready? Go. Come on, Helen, pick it up. You can come out and get it. You don't have to stay back there when you're going to get it. That's the... Oh, boy, come on. Press against the floor, Helen, when you push it. Hey, there goes one. By golly. Whoop, just missed it again. She's rolling it backwards here. Hey, that'll never do. There you are. Grab it quick. Press down on the floor. Press on the floor. Oh, just missed it there. Hey, man, that thing's going. Come on. Aim it right at that cart. Oh, hold it. Hold everything while we get it back in line here. That's it. You just go right ahead now. Aim it right at the thing. Be careful now. Get your aim good. Go. There's 2. Only 1 to go. Hold it. Stop the clock. All right, let it go. Go. That's the girl. Back over here. Melvin, good job, boy. All right. Now, of course, that means you move along. You've beaten the $200 clock. That's principally what you came back for, and more excitement will be ahead of you pretty soon, sure, because you're going to get at that jackpot clock, and I guess you've seen that, haven't you? Yeah, well, that's the one that you have to carry on for alone, so, kind of deep breathing now and get all your nerves off from being on edge because we want to see what we can get right through the whole thing if we possibly can. All right, now, Melvin, you can't help in this at all. You have to stand right down over there if you don't mind, but hold good thoughts for your lovely wife, you will. Helen, if you'll step up on this little platform here, turn around and face the audience, and I'll tell you when to turn back. Don't turn around again till I tell you to. Now, right in back of you is our famous Jackpot magnetic board. On it are all of the words of a famous saying or quotation. They're all held there by magnetism, but you can move them around on the board. And we want you to do that. Move them around until they spell out the saying or quotation we're after. All this in 20 seconds from the time I say go. Now, don't look till I tell you to. Open the curtain. Turn around, take a look. Go. Stop the clock. 2 wrongs do not make a right. You're right, Helen. You did it. Go back in here, Mel. Give her a kiss, boy. She earned it. All right. That got to it. That was worth coming back for, wasn't it? And we're mighty happy for you. You've beaten our jackpot clock, so let's see what you've won. Just take a look over here.
It's the 1954 Sylvania Stratford with a 21-inch screen and the great new photo power chassis for photographically clear pictures and even the most distant reception areas. And of course, the Stratford has halo light for the greatest eye comfort in all television. Congratulations, Mr. and Mrs. Mohlberger. You have just won Sylvania's Jackpot Prize.
My congratulations to you, too. You're very welcome. You're a wonderful contestant. Good luck to you. Bye. Roxanne, whom do we have now?
But we have now little baby Linda and her brother Marvin and Mr. and Mrs. Murray Lieber from Brooklyn, New York.
Well, welcome once again, Mr. and Miss Lieber. Awful nice to have you here. Hello, Murray. How are you? Come on out here, kids. Say hello to me. How are you?
Fine.
That's good. How old are you?
3.
You 3 years old, are you? What are you going to be when you grow up?
I don't know.
You don't know yet. Is this your big brother? What's his name?
Marvin.
Hi, Marvin. How are you?
4.
How old are you, Marv?
6.
What are you going to be when you grow up?
I don't know.
You haven't made up your mind either. This is a very relaxed family you have here. Murray, what do you do for a living?
Smoking pipe salesman for Knickerbocker Smoking Pipe
Boy,
Company.
we got that plug in there, didn't we, huh? Are some of the company looking tonight, are they?
Sure are, the whole company.
Well, best of good luck to you. Now, you've been married 11 years, I see by your
Right.
card. You sure have 2 wonderful samples here, I don't mind telling you. They're just great. All right. Of course, they have their truck and their Roxanne doll, as they always do. And Linda and Marvin are going to watch now while we see what we have for you. Teeter Catch is what we kind of call this for a name, if we want a name for a stunt, on the $100 clock. Suppose you come over here with me and I'll show you how it works. What are you doing with that hammer, Betty? You feeling all right now? You want to do this stunt for them? If you'll step right over here, where Madeline is. Madeline has a pile of dishes for you. And here I'm going to put this on your head, sir, if you don't mind. Okay? Looks rather well on you, if I may say so. Are you right-handed or left-handed?
Right-handed.
Right-handed. Now, you may only use your right hand in this entire stunt on the $100 clock. You can't use your left hand at all. Since you're right-handed, you don't have to keep it behind your back. But what you do is this. Mrs. Lieber is going to place one of those little plastic dishes on the end of that, way down there, the end, beyond the little black line. Place it right there now, if you will, please. Then what you will do, right at the very end, if you will, please, right at the very end, it'll go a little better that way. That's it. Now, what you do is this. You hit this hard. Saucer goes up in the air. You drop the hammer, take off your hat, run up, catch the saucer, put it back on your head. After you have done that, Mrs. Lieber will immediately replace it with another saucer. You do exactly the same thing. When you have 2 saucers caught inside that hat on your head, we'll stop the clock and you'll beat the clock. But you may only use your right hand. You understand? Take a look at the clock, see how many seconds you have. 55 seconds. Put a dish on there, if you will, Miss Lieber. Be ready to replace as soon as you can. Hit it hard, boy. You ready? Go. Oh, not quite. All right, try again. You got one. Okay. Now, don't drop it out when you catch the next. Put another one on there. Wait a minute. Hold it. Stop the clock. This tipped over. Wouldn't rock that way. Put another dish on there, if you will, please, Miss Lieber. Okay, ready? Go. That's a smart boy. Don't waste it on one that's no good. Wonderful. Incidentally, Miss Lieber, if you'll go over there with Betty, why, she'll get you all fixed up for this next little job. Right now, what's the matter, fella, huh? What's the matter? Marvin, what's the matter? You said, oh, and hit your head. What's wrong, huh? Cream? What do you suppose made him? Does he like cream? Is that what it is?
I'd like to see his daddy get some.
He would?
I think so.
Yeah.
You would too, would you? Oh, yourself. Well, I tell you what. We'll see what's going to happen, Daddy, in just a few seconds. You can come over with me and watch. Right now, we have a little special anniversary we would like to talk about, and that is that next Saturday is actually the 8th anniversary of the founding of the United Nations. Now, it's, what do? Do you have a birthday cake with 8 candles? Don't quite know when it's an organization like the United Nations, because this is something that is at least the best effort so far to try and establish understanding among nations and the peoples of the earth to establish a lasting peace. I think maybe if some of us stopped carping and criticizing the United Nations for some of the things they try to do, which always happens when a lot of people get together and try to sit down and iron out their differences, and kind of got behind it and helped it, rather than, as I say, criticize so much, this might be the answer. Maybe we would have lasting peace. 8th anniversary of the founding of the United Nations next Saturday. Okay, Mr. and Mrs. Lieber, Mr. Lieber's gone. Let's go find him, shall we? Come on over here. Come on, kids. Come with Mom. Let's go over here, and I think we have him by a drinking fountain. Your father loves to drink water. Bring out the drinking fountain. Stay right here if you will, Miss Lieber. Oh, there's your daddy. Look at there. How about that? Now, if you just stay right there with the kids, that's right. You can watch the whole thing. Hey, what are you laughing at, huh? Huh?
I like it.
You like it? Well, you wait and see whether you like it or not. Now, here you are, Mr. Lieber. We have here 3 little paper cups, and there's a little handle on each one because we want to make the whole thing very sanitary so when you fill these cups, you don't get your fingerprints on it. Right back here is a drinking fountain. All you have to do is pick up those cups one at a time, hold them in front of this little nozzle here, fill them up. When they're full to the brim, put them back down, one at a time. When you get all 3 cups filled, we'll stop the clock, and you'll beat the clock, and let's take a look at the clock and see how many seconds you have. 35 seconds to fill all 3, and of course, as you probably have guessed, you may not use your hands, you have to use your teeth. So pick each one of those up with your teeth, fill it up with the brim. You can get them in your mouth with your hands if you want, or you can put it in there to start with, and let's see how well you do. Are you ready? Go! Come on over here and look at Daddy. Look at Daddy. What do you think of that? All right, Roxanne, come on out here, if you will, and take a picture of Mr. Lieber so we'll have a little record of this in one of your Sylvania flash bulbs with that blue dot for sure shot. There you are. So that'll be something for you to have in your album. The girls will get them all cleaned up now. If you'll come back with me, kids, with Mom, Mom is now going to carry on for the family. So if you'll step up on that little platform right in back there, Miss Lieber, step down at the far end and face the audience. Don't look around now till I tell you to. In back of you now is our jackpot board with all of the words of another famous saying or quotation. But they are all moved around out of order. We want you to get them back in order in 20 seconds from the time I say go. Do you understand? All right, don't look till I tell you to. Open the curtain. Wait just a minute. One of these words is upside down. Turn around, take a look. Go. Stop the clock. East is east and west is west. You're right. And you've beaten our jackpot clock. Congratulations to you, Mr. Lieber. Well, second time tonight that's happened. So now let's turn around here and see what you won. Just take a look over here.
Again, Sylvania presents the Stratford, one of its great TV line for 54, with such exclusive features as the Photo Power chassis for photographically clear pictures in all areas, and Halo Light, which surrounds this 21-inch screen for the most comfortable viewing you have ever experienced. Congratulations, Mr. and Mrs. Lieber. You, too, have just won Sylvania's Jackpot Prize.
My congratulations to you, too. I hope you have many happy hours of watching on your new Sylvania set. Goodbye. We'll get it for you. Don't worry about it. Okay. What do we have now, Roxanne?
Bud, now I'd like you to meet Mr. and Mrs. John Samantha from Yonkers, New York.
Thank you very much. Would you pick up Mr. Lieber's comb? He dropped it in the excitement there and give it back to it. And now a welcome from our audience for Mr. and Mrs. Samantha. Hi there, Mr. and Mrs. How are you? Nice to have you here with us tonight. What's that? The bonus! You get to try the bonus. Come on out here, Mrs. Samantha. Or you get a chance to talk to you. Have you seen it at home? You haven't even watched it? Well, come on out here. You might do better at it if you haven't. Mrs. Samantha tells me that she has never even seen this done. Incidentally, I want to take this opportunity right now to tell a lot of people who took the trouble to write in the telephone last week. The lady that almost got it last week, but it rocked back and forth in this other one and finally fell off. That's the only reason we didn't call her say that she had done it. But my goodness, you'd have thought that I had committed murder or something. People called up and said, if you kept your big mouth shut, you would have got it. All I was trying to do was help the lady, and she thanked me afterward for helping. I was trying to tell her the benefit of the experience we've had with the stunt, but if some people prefer that I keep quiet, how do you feel about it? Shall I just keep quiet?
No.
Not keep quiet. All right. Take a hold of this in one hand, take a hold of this in the other hand, and I'll show you how this stunt has to end up. This cup must be standing on that one, this must be standing on that one, both standing fairly firmly. Do you understand? That's the way the stunt ends. Now, you start it with them both hanging just the way they were, and you may not use this to help that one or that to help this one. You've got to do them independently of the other. Now, are you right-handed?
Yes.
Well, if you want to, you may start with this one because your right hand is sometimes quicker and you save the greatest amount of time for the other, but it's entirely up to you. Take a look at the clock, see how many seconds you have. This is worth $1,000 tonight in cash as a bonus. 50 seconds to do it. Are you ready? Go. fired anything. That was just a bonus, and I'm telling you, especially if you've never seen it before, that's a rough one, you know. Mostly we're finding now they're getting close to it by people who have watched it at home, and they've sort of gotten the idea. What I was trying to tell you was to kind of fit that spatula right against the slant of the bottom, you see, then walk along with it, and the string kind of helps you pull it up then. That's what you have to do. Now I've told the whole secret of it, and probably next week it'll go. In any event, let's see what happens. But right now, Mr. and Mrs. Samantha, let's test your powers of observation. Good enough, Mr. and Mrs. Samantha. Yonkers, New York is your home. Is that it? And you've been married, I see by your card, just 9 months and 3 weeks, so you're still a bride, aren't you, Mrs. Samantha? What do you do, John?
I work for an oil company.
What sort of job do you do, Heaven?
Well, I'm manager.
Good boy. Where?
In the nurse shop.
It's not too far from Yonkers, is it? No. You do it by car, do you? Good boy. All right, Mr. and Mrs. Samantha, let's see what your problem is now on the $100 clock. And it involves both of you, so if you both come over here with me. Mrs. Samantha, suppose you step around Madeline here, if you will, and stand over by that little table where we have a canister full of ping-pong balls. And if you'll sit right down here, John. That's the idea. Madeline's going to put something on your head, make you look a little bit like a unicorn. That's the idea. And that's a little plastic cup we have there, you see? Now, I'm going to take one of these ping-pong balls, ask you to tip your head back, if you will. Now, say prunes and hold it. Say prunes. That's it. I'm going to put this on your lips there. Tip your head back a little more. You don't have to lean your whole body. Just tip your head back. That's the boy. Just get it on your lips there. Balance it there. There. Now, when I say go, what you have to do is this. You have to blow that ping-pong ball up in the air, catch it in the cup. You catch just one ping-pong ball in the cup, we'll stop the clock, and you'll beat the clock, and your job is to keep replacing the ping-pong balls as often as he needs them. I'll take a look at the clock with your wife, tell you how many seconds you have. You have 45 to catch just one. Are you ready? Go. Hold it. Stop the clock just a minute. What you should try to do, you don't have to just blow them so they land in the cup. Blow it up in the air and then get the cup under it and blow it. See, try to blow it up good and high so you can maneuver under it. Got the idea again? Want to try one, practice one? Go ahead. Try one. Blow. Oh, you got to blow harder than that. Can't you blow good and hard? Get your lips together more like that, you know, and blow. That's the boy. You got it. All right, you ready? Go. Woo. All right. Come on. He's got kind of a leaky gasket in his blower there. He wheezes instead of blowing. He goes, I
got a cold.
Oh, you got a cold, have you? Well, maybe that'll help you get rid of it a little bit. Okay, they got you through the $100 clock, and you're going to move up now to the $200 clock. And for this one, this is entirely yours. Now, this is something in which you're going to have to be very quick and, you know, spontaneous and watch a lot of things. There are all kinds of facets to it, as well as a few cups and saucers. Do you have him put the china away when you get finished washing dishes? He does? Well, we got a way of training him right now. Come on over here with me, John, if you will. You watch him, Miss Samantha. Stand right there in front of that and take a look at this shelf we have here. This is our cup and saucer shelf, you see? Now, if you look, sit right down here on this, the front of this. That's it. Now, you look over to your right there, John. You'll see 3 more, not the girls, no. 3 cups and 3 saucers. See them? Yeah. Take those cups off the saucer there so you have the saucers free. That's the idea. Now, when I say go, what you have to do is this. Pick up a saucer, stand up, put it on the cup, sit down. Pick up a cup, put it on top of the saucer, sit down. And so on, saucer cup, saucer cup, saucer cup, till you got 3 more cups and saucers stacked on top of that one. The only thing that makes it Liebers fascinating at all is the fact that I'm going to turn a little switch here, which causes this thing to turn around over your head all the time. And you must not be hit by it. If it touches you, we have to stop and go back 2 cups or saucers, whatever, you know, 2 points back from where you were. Take a look at the clock, see how many seconds you have. 45 seconds, and I think, as a matter of fact, that just in case you pull that chinaware over on you, you might as well wear this football helmet. It's kind of appropriate for the season, too. All right, now, boy, don't go till I tell you to. Are you ready? Go! Get out, boy! Now you got an idea of how fast you have to go, don't you, huh? All right, we've got to take this one down again so you can start over again. You got to get up there and get down fast. Now, are you ready? Go! Get up and down. Get down, boy. Up. Get down. Up. Get down. Oh, my goodness, he stopped it again. All right. Well, we get it fitted on here. Got to take you back to 1, 2. There we are. All right, now, wait till it gets going here. Are you ready? Go. Get down. It's awful crooked when you got there. Saucer, cup next. Get out! All right. Straighten up that cup and saucer up there for him. Give him that much of a start. That's the idea. Okay, now you got to go on from there, boy. You ready? Wait till we get going. You only got 14 seconds to go. Go. Don't waste any time. Take 5 seconds, take it away. Get on, boy. Hurry up now. One more saucer. Hurry up. Quick. Get on. One more cup. There's one more cup there. Hurry up. Quick. Get up and go. Golly. All right. We'll allow it. Okay. Good enough. Close enough, man. We'll have your help. Okay. That was too close. You couldn't hear the buzzer with everybody yelling, so all right. You bid it about a second or so afterward, but we'll allow you on that. We'll give you a little bit of break. Okay, you passed the $100 clock, the $200 clock, and now it comes a jackpot try on the behalf of your wife. So, John, you've got to catch your breath anyway. Will you step down over there? Don't help in any way. While your pretty wife steps up on this little platform, turns around and faces the audience, and don't look back now till I tell you to. And back to you now is our jackpot board with all the words of a famous saying or quotation all mixed up. Get them unmixed in 20 seconds so they spell out the saying or quotation. Don't look till I tell you to. Open the curtain. Turn around, take a look. Go. No, it's not. The sense is right, but it's not right. That's not the same. The sense is right. Hurry up, quick. Stop the clock. You got it. Well, you beat my jackpot clock, so let's see what you've won. Just you take a look over here.
And again, Sylvania presents the Stratford, one of its great TV line for 54, with such exclusive features as the Photo Power chassis for photographically clear pictures in all areas, and Halo Light, which surrounds this 21-inch screen for the most comfortable viewing you've ever experienced. Congratulations, Mr. and Mrs. Samantha. You, too, have just won Sylvania's Jackpot Prize.
Congratulations to you, too. You're very welcome, boy. Nice to have you here with us tonight. Good night. Well, Roxanne, whom do we have now?
But I'd like you to meet Mr. and Mrs. Daniel Grady from Devon, Connecticut.
Thank you very much. Hello, Mr. and Miss Grady. Welcome to you. Nice to have you
Hi,
here.
Bud.
How are you, Dan?
Fine, Bud.
Hi, goodness. You live in Devon, Connecticut. What do you do up there?
The check breaks for a asbestos company, Bud.
Oh, sort of a brake inspector. In
That's
other words,
right.
people bring them in and you have to look them over and okay them. Is that
Well,
it?
no, not necessarily that, but we make them and then we check them.
You have to check the actual brakes before they go out, the brake linings
That's
and
right.
things like that. That's a pretty responsible job, boy. I guess you realize that human life depends on the accuracy.
We figure we got a good product.
I should say so. What do you have 3 children? Yes. Hey, so do I. Been married 10 years. Now, what are these children? 2 boys and a girl? Or?
2 girls and a boy.
2 girls and a boy. Well, we'll have Roxanne Doll.
Can we
for
say
the
hello
girls.
to them, Bud?
Sure, you may. Go right ahead.
Hi, Sharon. Hi, Joyce. Hi, Kevin.
That's the idea. Now they know that you said hello. Right now, as a matter of fact, I don't know whether you were watching that last night, but you should have had a look at the faces of your wife, especially when she was watching her husband try to do that stunt. Now, Mr. and Miss Grady, let's see what we have here. I told you we'd have Roxanne dolls and a Sylvania truck for the boy, so the dolls for the girls. Let's get over and see what your first problem is on the $100 clock. You like music, do you, both of you?
Yes, love it.
Yeah, you've seen, of course, these little concertinas. I'm sure you have.
Yeah.
Lovely melodies they play. If you'll stand over here, and I want you to put your arms around each other, if you will, just to right and left. That's it. Now, would you put your hand through there like that? Slip it through as though you're going to play it. You do the same thing on this side. That's the idea. Now, here, Madeline has a balloon. And if I were to place this little tip we put on the balloon in between any of those spaces, you could close the concertina and catch it, couldn't you? All right. Now, that is what your problem is going to have to be, but we're getting a lot of noise from backstage, which means that our time has run out. Now, that's something you can pick up at home, I'm sure, and practice all week. Maybe play as a tune when you come back. Can you come back next week? All right. You'll be our first contestants at that time. We'll see you then. For now, thank you very much for being with us tonight. And this is Bud Collyer speaking for Sylvania, hoping that next time may be your time to beat...